It's Friday, December 19th, right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Kyle Simchuk in Scottsdale. The owner of a beloved convenience store dies after a freak accident in his own drive-thru. Tonight we're hearing from grieving customers and learning when Milk Depot will reopen.
And a major move from President Trump on marijuana. What cannabis companies in Arizona are saying.
I'm Chase Golightly in Phoenix tonight. New details regarding a domestic violence shooting. What we learned about the suspect and victim's relationship tonight.
I'm meteorologist Chris Dunn. Record heat on the way for the weekend, 78 tomorrow, and Christmas rain showers in your weather impact forecast.
12 News at 10 starts now.
And we begin tonight with breaking news. A massive fire out of surprise. It happened at a home near Cotton Lane and Bell Road around 7 p.m. You can see the garage there is completely destroyed there. It was once engulfed in flames. Sky 12 flew over the scene just a few hours ago. We're still waiting to learn what caused this fire or whether there were any injuries. Of course, we'll keep you updated as we learn more. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Tonight, 12 News obtained video showing a Phoenix woman and her boyfriend less than an hour before, according to police, he shot and killed her this week.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly is joining us live in studio with new details that we uncovered today. And Chase, what have you learned?
Well, Kariba, Mark, the 21-year-old suspect was arrested yesterday. Court documents we obtained claim the victim and suspect had only been dating for a few weeks and had a history of fighting. This is the last video showing 39-year-old Catherine Cervantes alive. It was taken Wednesday night near 12th Street and Mountain View Road. Phoenix police say you can see Cervantes and her 21-year-old boyfriend, Victor Giron, get out of the car when he's almost hit by another car. Giron then makes gestures at the vehicle in the middle of the street as it drives away. Cervantes stays by the car before getting back inside. The rest of the video doesn't show Giron. But court documents say 30 minutes after this was taken, Cervantes was killed. Court documents obtained by 12 News claim the reason both of them were here was to see Cervantes' close friend who lives nearby. She reportedly told police that the couple had only been dating for about 2 weeks, and the two had argued often since they started dating. The friend told police she witnessed one of those fights a few hours before this video was taken, where she reportedly heard Giron say he was going to shoot Cervantes. The friend told them they both need to leave, which they did. About an hour later, she says Giron came back alone, entered her home without permission, and said he needed help, stating he may have shot Cervantes. The friend went outside and saw Cervantes in a different car than the one in the video, saying she wasn't responsive and they needed to call 911. Giron didn't want to and instead moved Cervantes into the friend's car. When the friend said she was going to call police, Giron reportedly pointed a gun at her before leaving. Police were called, saying Cervantes was shot at least one time and transported her to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Giron was arrested the next day. According to those same documents, he was found driving south about 2 hours from the crime scene on his way to Ajo, Arizona. When he was pulled over, police say he got out of his car and ran before he was taken down and arrested. Giron is now facing second-degree murder and aggravated assault charges. The judge gave him a $1 million cash-only bond. Now, I was able to speak with the friend of Cervantes today. She said she didn't want to do an interview, but told me Cervantes was a loving mother and will be missed. We're live in the studio. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Tonight, 4 men are in jail after Phoenix police connected them to multiple home invasions in South Phoenix this past fall. The first family reported that about 3 to 4 masked men forced entry into their home armed with rifles and handguns. They threatened to harm the victim, searching the home for money, but ended up leaving with nothing. 9 days later, they did the same thing at a home near 29th Street and Chipman Road, where a 12-year-old girl was held at gunpoint inside the home.
We had some adult victims, which of course it's traumatic for them, but the young lady in the second house, that was very upsetting to have to interview her after something like this. And I hope this, again, I don't know that bad guys are going to be hearing this or listening to this, but we will do everything we can to try to bring justice, especially for a victim like that, because it can be very traumatic for them.
All 4 men are now facing armed robbery and kidnapping charges. New at 10, it's been the go-to for stops and snacks and drinks and even salsa for more than 40 years. Well, now neighbors are mourning the death of a Scottsdale convenience store owner who was hit by a car in his own drive-thru.
12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk talked to customers outside of Milk Depot who stopped by the closed store to pay their respects.
All throughout the evening, we've seen customer after customer pulling up here to the Milk Depot, confused as to why it's closed. It's usually buzzing with activity at night, but a freak accident here in the drive-thru claimed the life of a man who's run this store for more than 40 years. The lights are off at Milk Depot tonight, the parking lot empty.
We basically are here every other day.
For more than 40 years, this South Scottsdale convenience store near 87th Street in McDowell has been a neighborhood staple.
Favorite store in the neighborhood.
I love the Milk Depot. It's everything.
They have my favorite candy here.
But regulars say it's more than just a place to grab snacks and drinks.
It's the people that work here, the memories that were made as kids driving through, and just how they treated us. We were always family.
I appreciate that they hired the teenagers and the kids from the reservation. I like it. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy to work for.
And then there's the salsa, made by the owner's wife.
They have really good salsa, too.
I think everybody knows that around here.
I come here all the way to buy the salsa.
Now the store is dark because the man who ran it is gone. 80-year-old Denny Thornton was closing up December 7th when he was struck by a car in his drive-thru. He died at the hospital days later.
I actually happened to be driving by that Sunday evening and saw all the emergency presence.
Scottsdale police say their investigation is closed. The driver will not face any criminal charges. It was a tragic accident.
It hits you hard.
Customers say Denny knew generations of families.
And I'm sure he knew every single kid who ever went to Coronado over the last 40-some years.
And he was a super funny guy for how old he was, and they didn't even think he was that old. He probably was in his 50s, man.
Tonight, as regulars pray for Denny and his family,
and then they get to see how much the community loves them. I'm gonna cry.
They can't help but wonder what the future holds for this tiny neighborhood treasure.
He's a legend in the neighborhood, whether they know that or not, but he's a staple. We always knew he was here, and as well as the staff, and so definitely would say he's a legend in the neighborhood for sure for doing this.
Now, there is some good news to share. Dennis's family tells me Milk Depot will reopen January 1st, and they're still making salsa. You can buy it at Inner Circle Cafe in Scottsdale while they remain closed. We're in Scottsdale tonight. Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
All right, Kyle, thanks. Cannabis stocks plummeted this week on Wall Street, despite President Trump's executive order that could ease marijuana restrictions. Market analysts said the sell-off reflected investors' disappointment that his order fell short of decriminalizing marijuana. According to a Scottsdale attorney for the cannabis industry, Trump's order won't have any immediate impact on consumers or businesses.
So you've had past presidents who give direction to say, hey, let's do some additional research on certain substances. They may have drug reform policies, things like that. We've never had a president that tried to give this type of order via executive order. So there's a lot of uncertainty.
That's Scottsdale attorney Laura Bianchi. She's represented the cannabis industry in Arizona for 15 years. She concedes that she has no idea when any parts of Trump's order will become law. All right, let's bring in meteorologist Chris Dunn now. And Chris, Christmas is just around the corner, and we're still seeing temperatures flirting with the 80s.
Yeah, this record stretch of December heat will continue to set some records, probably on Sunday and Monday. The best chance in the next 3 days. We'll hit 78 tomorrow, not quite the record of 83. That was set just last year. And 79 on Sunday, also set just last year when we had the warmest December on record. And we're kind of heading in that direction. Sunday, we'll hit a record 82 on Monday. That record, 79, set all the way back in 1917. That record goes back more than 100 years. And these temperatures are some 15 to 17 degrees above average. Average high is 65. It's been a while since we've been in that range. Into this weekend and next week, daytime highs way above the average in the 70s and the 80s. However, you need to prepare for a change. We have rain showers developing by Christmas Eve in the forecast, and that could affect your Christmas day. We'll check it out and show you what's changing in the overall weather pattern and what you can expect coming up in about 10 minutes from right now.
All right, we'll see you then, Chris. Thank you. The holidays can be tough for those in foster care, but there's a way that you can help make it special.
12 News journalist Jade Cunningham shines a light on one organization It's helping to make this season merry and bright for all.
'Tis the season to give.
Holidays can be very tough because you have children that are thinking back to previous holidays when they were with their family.
Every donation, every gift is special.
Just because it might feel small, it doesn't mean it's not going to make a big difference.
This year, though, for the thousands of children in Arizona's foster system, what they need most can't be wrapped.
Arizona does not have enough foster homes.
Branching out Executive Director Sherry Vieira.
Most people think a kid comes into care and then they go to a loving foster family to care for them, and that's really not the case for most foster kids. They often get moved around, they live in group care facilities or shelters, and they never get to have that, for a lot of them, they never get to have that sense of belonging and family.
It's a feeling foster youth advocate PK Wood knows.
My mom, she struggled with addiction, and it was just really hard for her, so she ended up abandoning me at a crack house. And at 5 years old,
he spent 2 years in foster care.
It was very traumatic. Going to a group home.
Running away at times because he just wanted his mom.
Being away from her felt like I was just taken from her, and I didn't understand what my mom was struggling with at the time. So for me, it was just survival mode, and it was find mom any chance and every chance that you get.
Our whole goal as a department is to reduce our congregate care settings and find more family-like settings.
Amy Fox is the statewide placement administrator for DCS and a former foster parent herself.
Research will tell you they do better in a family setting, smaller environment, with the same consistent caregiver.
The need, she says, for foster families is huge.
Well, there's a little less than 2,000 now, and there was about 4,500 in 2020.
The biggest hurdle are the misconceptions.
Some people think you have to be married, you have to own a home, and you don't. You can rent your home, you can live in an apartment, you can be single, you can be in a same-sex relationship.
And the challenges, she says, are met with great reward.
It is an amazing experience to give back to a child and just see them blossom when they're in a safe space.
Just because they're in the foster care system doesn't mean that they're different.
It's why Wood and other officials hope the spirit of the season will inspire people to find it in their hearts to not just give.
Take that risk, take that leap, and you're gonna grow, and so is that child.
But open their doors to foster long term. Jay Cunningham, 12 News.
All right, thanks, Jade. And if you would like more information about branching out, volunteering, or even to find a Giving Tree location near you, you can go to azgivingtrees.com.
Still ahead tonight, the Justice Department releases more files connected to Jeffrey Epstein. We'll give you a look at some never-before-seen photographs.
Plus, a judge clears the way for Tesla CEO Elon Musk to claim stock options now valued at about $139 billion. More on the years-long legal battle is coming up.
And at 10:13, let's give you a live look over downtown Phoenix. 12 News at 10 is coming right back.
The holidays should feel magical for every child. You can make that happen for a child in foster care. Visit azgivingtrees.com to select a wish. It's simple, meaningful, and makes a real difference. Visit azgivingtrees.com.